You really need to begin journaling right now. I'm going to share with you my journaling journey, how it's transformed my life, how it's taken me from one place to another and helped me to be the person I've always wanted to be. But the best part is that there are steps here that you can follow and have the same results, the same transformation in your life. So if you're yearning for a deeper level of happiness, journaling can help you to get there, and I'd love to share with you exactly how. I've been journaling off and on for my entire life, but I got very serious around the millennium. So it's been about 24 years when I've been very serious about journaling. 24 years ago, I was newly divorced. I was angry. I didn't know which way my life would go. I felt hopeless and aimless, and journaling was the mechanism that brought me along. I was stuck in a terrible place with no hope of fulfillment or advancement. I just couldn't find my stride. Anyone who came close to me and tried to help me, my defensiveness, my armor of anger and indifference just pushed them away. I was sabotaging whatever chance I had at happiness. I was imprisoned in restraints that I had forged from my lowest expectations and my biggest fears. Over time, these were reinforced, hardened, strengthened, and I had no way to escape. So how did journaling help me to cut through this Gordian knot of forged iron and to escape and transform my life? I have three men to thank for the transformation in my life. The first one, unlikely enough, is John Adams. John Adams was the vice president to George Washington and the second president of the United States. He was also a resident of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. He drafted the state constitution, and this went on to affect how the federal constitution was drafted for the United States. More importantly to us, he was a lifelong journaler, and he used journaling to have a conversation with the various ideas of his day and also to track his own life and his ongoing love affair and relationship with his wife, Abigail Adams. I saw how he put the ideas that he came up with in his journaling into practice to have a positive effect on everyone around him and to have a lasting impact on the affairs of government and life here in the United States. That is very profound and very impactful, and it certainly transformed how I looked at something that I thought previously was more like a diary. Journaling, that it really made me think that journaling is a tool that I could use in my own life. And to that end, there's another man I have to thank for introducing me to John Adams, and that is David McCullough. So David McCullough is a biographer and a writer and another resident of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. He recently passed away, but if I had met him, I certainly would have thanked him enthusiastically for introducing me to the second president of the United States through his fantastic biography of him, John Adams, a book that I hold on to proudly and revisit from time to time. It's really fantastic. The third person that had a profound and transformative effect on my life and on how I view journaling was the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. Epictetus was a first century Roman. He was a Greek slave whose writings had an effect on the Emperor Marcus Aurelius. And it is his one phrase that had such a profound effect on me. Think first who you would be, then do what you must do. Considering this line and pondering on it had a profound effect on me, my life, and my practice of journaling, and I'm going to guide you precisely how to see if it might help you along on your journey as well. So this is really your first assignment on your road to journaling. Your first thought is to craft, who is it you want to be? For me, it's someone kinder, more open to experiences, open to love and friendship, someone who's well-read, sophisticated, possessed of these qualities that I so admired in other men: dignitas, gravitas, dignity, seriousness. Although I knew I would also be a bit too goofy to really embody these fully, I knew they would contribute something profound and more lasting to my life. See, coming up with these ideas was very profound because there are certain ways we act, we behave, certain things we like. A lot of these are based in our childhood. We've been carrying them along without really questioning them. But you get to a certain age and you become an adult, you have to make adult decisions, and it's time then to really consider whether or not these things are working for you, or if you should refine them, reject them, and create something else. When I thought about this, I described a complete me, a me that I would aspire toward with all the characteristics, interests, and the way I would behave in public to be just a better, more fulfilling person. But now that I had a very clear idea of who I wanted to be, I needed a roadmap to get me there. I also needed data on who I was at that time, which decisions I was making were healthy and had very good outcomes, and which decisions I was making were unhealthy and pushing me away from my positive goals in trying to get me to the place that I really felt I needed to be. So it was data as a driver, and there's really only one way to get that data. I knew I needed to write it down. I needed to get it on the paper. I also knew I needed to be completely honest with myself, no matter how hard that was, because I needed actual data that I would then use to transform my life. It was then when I had an incredible realization, and that is, if you want to change your life, change your choices. If you want to know who you are how you act. And how you act are the choices that you're making. So if you change these, everything changes. So let me say that again. If you want to change your life, change your choices. So now you need to track your choices. How do you do that? Journaling gets you to open up, to be expressive, to be introspective, to give you some distance from your problems so that you can see them dispassionately. And most of all, to begin to detect narratives in your life, to see the consequences to your actions, but only if you are completely honest and able to level honest and balanced criticism toward yourself. You need to be balanced between undue praise and harsh, excessive self-criticism. Think about it. How many decisions have you made in your life that have deeply affected your life, yet you never investigated whether it was a good decision? You never tied the effect to the cause. Journaling does precisely that. Think about businesses. Whenever they take an action, they study the data, they plan. They have whole teams that come in to advise them. Then they follow up to see whether or not this decision had a positive effect. They analyze all this data to see whether it was the right decision, to see if they can replicate it so that they make good decisions going forward. Why aren't you doing the same thing? Without journaling, you're making decisions in the dark. You're doing the same things, sometimes impulsively, over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Think about how irrational that is. It might actually be the definition of irrationality, but hey, I've done it too. With journaling, over time, you will see this endless succession of cause and effect. The things that you were confronted with, your analysis of the data, your decision, and how it turned out. You will actually be able to see your decision process, and these are literally the things that make up who you are. There is no greater insight into your own being, your own personality, than this information that you put in your journal. These things literally add up to who you are. You ever wonder who you are? You are your ability to make decisions about truth, reality, and action. You are the summation of your personal choices and decisions. Your choices are what define you. Think about what a tremendous power this gives you over your own life. Do you want to be different? Do you want to be more successful? Start making different decisions. When you're confronted with different conflicts, with different challenges in your life, don't respond to them the same way. Respond in a more healthy way, a way that restores harmony, balance, a way that advances you and the people you love forward. Start tracking the effects of your decisions. Start guiding the ship of your life into a better direction. It may be at this point that you're wondering, what should I write? And I am going to give you the only journaling prompt you ever need to transform your life, and it's inspired by Epictetus. And this is, who must I be? Ask yourself who you must be in this life, the values you must have, the things you need to do, the things you must accomplish, and then write them down. Keep writing them down. Keep working on them. Refine them until you feel as if you're describing the aspirational person you want yourself to be. Trust me, if I can describe it, you can. The more you can refine this and form this and see it in your mind, the better chance you have at accomplishing it and becoming this. It will then become so real for you. The next step is to do what you must do to achieve these goals. Begin a written plan to transform and guide your life to a much better place by making better choices. Break a long path into smaller goals that are easier to accomplish. So if you feel overwhelmed by where you need to be and it seems so distant and so far off, there might be a first step that you can get to. Something like going back to school. That's easy enough. Figure out how it works in your life. Just think about it in little steps, but know that you're moving toward a larger, bigger goal. This could be about success in your life, or it could be something about your personality. If you find you're too angry, maybe you need some different steps to calm down, to build pauses in your life, something like that. There's always ways to get there, but you need to make it manageable by breaking it down into pieces. And all this time, you can use your journal to track your progress, to see how you're doing, to give yourself honest self-appraisals. And when you find yourself drifting off your path, you can right yourself. Bring yourself back to center, to where you need to be to get to a better place for yourself and for all those people you love. This is the path to a better tomorrow. This is the path to wisdom, success, and happiness. Because this is a path to the true personal satisfaction that arises once you like yourself, know yourself, and feel satisfied with your life. This is the way to get you to all your amazing potential. And then all those connections in your life are healthy ones because you love yourself. You feel more fulfilled and more comfortable in your own skin. Until you accomplish this basic level of self-acceptance and aspiration and fulfillment, you won't be able to love others around you in the way that you know you can and long for. And it all begins that moment the nib of your pen touches the paper. Sometimes it doesn't even matter what you're writing at first, just the action of writing gets you thinking. It has you exploring in the museum of your mind, down those dusty corridors where the demons hide. Chase them out. Strive. Forget the criticism. Forget the naysayers in your life that will surely be jealous of you that you are making better decisions now. There will always be those that are trying to drag you down to their level. You may have to leave some people behind. Trust me, it happens. but you are striving. And if you reach just a little further, you will get to that place where all of your potential will explode from within, where you will have enormous self-confidence because you are united with your path, with who you are as a person, with those things that you must do to be satisfied with your life and to be a good, loving person for those around you. So buy a journal now. Start writing in it. Start imagining who you are and who you must be. And then set steps on how to get there. After, the entire world will begin to conform to you. I'm sorry if all of this sounds a bit evangelical, but this has had a profound effect on my life, and I really wanted to share it with all of you, hoping that maybe all of it or some part of it might help you, may inspire you to just get a little further on your journey. So what do you think of this? If you've reached this point, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd surely appreciate it. And if you really like this channel and you want to support it even more, consider becoming a member. There's lots of things going on behind the scenes, and I'd appreciate the help. So thank you very much. I make new videos all the time. I have a live show Tuesday nights at 8, so I can promise you we will see each other again very soon, further up the road. So until then, keep writing and take care of yourself.